Heard a story that Miles Monroe gave. One of his deacons who became a very strong man in church. This man was always beating and frustrating his wife, and then he would run to church. Or I think it was the other way around. The man hated God and all of that. He would beat the wife. The wife was in church, and the man hated church and hated pastors. And one day he reached out to her and he said, "What's the problem?" And she said, "My husband hates church, he hates pastors, he hates everybody." And he said, "Why?" He said, "Because I don't have time for him and everything is church." And Miles Monroe looked at her and wrote a note. He said, "Go back home." I said, "Sorry sir, you are driving me from church." He said, "Go back home. Go and tell your husband that your pastor sent you back home to come and take care of him." Now listen. So he went back, she went back home and told the man. And the man said, "What did you say? Your pastor sent you to come back and attend to me?" He first kept quiet. You know how men are. They won't talk, but they're thinking. After a few days, now called and said, "Okay, who did you say that your pastor is?" And then she followed him to the church and sat at the back. And Dr. Monroe came and greeted him and said, "Thank you, sir." And said, "Wow." Eventually, cut the long story short, he became a deacon in that church. Because he said, "I wanted a pastor who could teach a woman not to neglect her responsibility in the name of spirituality. And now I found one." Now that man at that point was a burden bearer. He was willing to lose his membership to make sure a man's home is restored. Can you go that far? Can your ego go that far? Can you sacrifice that much